October 27th, almost Halloween. And let me tell you something. Donald Trump and the GOP had a trick or treat for the Democrats tonight. And it was big in MSG, huge. I mean, this was joined by Paul Villarreal, and I don't even have a lot of stuff prepared. We're just going to be flying right here. This is very soon after the rally. A lot of stuff happened right here. Also testing out some new settings on the camera, so hopefully it looks better. We'll see. Couple little tweaks here and there. But let me tell you something. Trump had, this was star-studded. This was like, I mean, Elon had like 5 minutes. I mean, it was Elon, it was Vivek, it was Aline Haba, it was Laura Trump, Eric Trump, I mean, Tony Hinchcliffe. I mean, there's so many people that were there. Hulk Hogan. I mean, obviously, President Trump. This was just jam-packed, Paul. Unbelievable. We're going to get some clips. We're going to talk about them. Elon's been putting some stuff up. I may go to that right now. I don't know. Elon just put this up. He's so excited. This guy, let me just start with that. Let me just start with that real quick, and we'll go right to you and talk about it. I know you were looking at this. Here we go. I don't even know what we're going to see right here, but it's just Elon. I love Elon's thing here. We've got Howard Lutnick over here, Elon over there. I don't know if it's the greatest quality right here of a clip, but let's just go to it right now. Dude, I love it, dude. He's off the chain. Elon, dude, EM was just doing it. I was just doing it. I mean, this was just a wild setup, a wild situation, Paul. What do you make about this whole, tell me about this. What did you think? He went to Madison Square Garden for the campaign to be doing this at this time and go to New York. There's rumors that they think New York's in play. That's hard to believe, but it's only, I mean, the last time it happened was Reagan with the GOP won New York. I mean, what's your sense of this event in MSG?
Man, I've never seen anything like this. And I've seen so many rallies. I mean, look, a lot of the way that I've made my name on X was covering rallies. And so I've seen, I don't even know how many rallies. This thing was at such a different level. And one of the best things that they did with this was that they minimized how much they told people about the guest list. People did not know Hulk Hogan was going to be there. People did not know Dr. Phil was going to be there. People did not know Melania was going to be there. So that added to this. And one of the things, just let me just say this, from an overall, this was an unbelievable mega home run. Everybody is so geeked up. I've never seen anything like this in terms of the reaction, the emotional attachment, everything. This is exactly what people wanted 10 days, 9 days before Election Day. I think this is the last little injection of energy that they needed. But I'm just telling you, from just like technical aspects and different things that they did, it was absolutely unbelievable. And this was like the prodigal son returning home, and everything's been made good. And Donald Trump is redeemed. And this was a celebration and just an unbelievable victory for everybody involved.
Huge victory. I think we've got a comment here from Naomi Jenkins. I believe that's it. Our friend over there in Twitter. Trump had an all-star lineup at MSG. Absolutely, Naomi. Definitely appreciate that. I don't know what my lens is out of focus right now. It's just kind of giving me a little bit of trouble. It's okay. I love that lens though. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, Naomi, it was unbelievable. It was hot. We have more here from Elon Musk because I think he frames it. I think he frames it very well. Hat tip, right side broadcast. He has a lot of different video of this up here. Elon has posted this here on his X site here. Let's go to what Elon's saying right here. Let's do it right now.
Now, I have something I want to ask you to do, though, because obviously we're somewhat preaching to the converted in this stadium, but there's a lot of people out there.
First of all, he's got the dark MAGA. He's got the dark MAGA Gothic hat.
Yeah,
the guy's like,
that was incredible. It was so good.
How does he do it, dude? I mean, the dude's like flying rockets, doing robots. He's doing so many different things. He's flying around. The Teslas, the battery, the superchargers, the solar panels, and he's designing hats. I mean, it's just unbelievable. And look at
Yeah.
his shoot. He's just doing it all, dude. And I see him up at night when I'm up at night. He's playing Diablo, at level 150. I mean, testing out different scores. It's crazy. I love it, dude. I'm a gamer too. Let's go. And Chris Puzlowski over at Rumble. We're live on Rumble. We appreciate the Rumble that has increased the bit wave from the live studio here to, I think, 10 megabits a second, something like that. And he wants to go after gaming. A lot of things happen in Rumble, live on X, live on Facebook, live on YouTube. Appreciate all of those platforms. Let's hear from Elon.
Who need to vote for President Trump. Okay. So this is a real battle. This is a real election battle. So you need to get friends and family to vote. Make sure they vote.
I mean, Elon, he's like not a practiced public speaker, but he's been doing a lot of this lately, and he's out there. And I mean, look at the energy in this crowd. We just started with touch the surface of this. You almost feel like you're at some college party or something like that, or football, or some rally, or some tailgate situation. Maybe that's the whole vibe of it. And as Paul said, and we're going to show Kamala Harris here, and we're going to show some early voting stuff and some more polls later in the show. We're not going to go too long, I don't think, tonight. But the difference in vibe, they supposedly Kamala had the vibe campaign. This is fun. This is partying. Mm-hmm. Everyone's feeling like they're gonna win. Yeah. You just feel the momentum, and you shift over to the Kamala Harris stuff. Like, oh man, it's a different vibe. You're seeing like mean tweets coming on Twitter from Harris supporters. You're seeing people that are supposed to be neutral that are kind of, the mask is dropping. There's a lot of stuff going on there. Paul, you had a comment.
Yeah, look, what I said is I made a post right after the rally ended, or shortly thereafter. One of the things I said is, it is clear from tonight that the GOP, the new Republican Party, is the fun, energetic, hip, youthful, next-gen organization. The Democratic Party is bringing out people like Bruce Springsteen and John Bon Jovi. They're out of the mix, man.
Different
They're
vibe,
old.
bro. It's a different vibe. We're all for everybody.
And Dana White, we're the hip thing happening now and the thing going to the future. As you said, Elon's setting trends. Elon's catching rockets. Elon's setting the pace. And that's just one guy of the whole constellation.
I had a long post today.
This is a new moment.
I had a long post today to a venture capitalist, Silicon Valley, stuff like that. I won't get into that and stuff. But essentially, it's like when I was in the Valley, like Elon, Sachs, and I, we all came up at the same time. And, the Valley then was totally different. It was innovation. And I explained this to another person in the venture space, and I said this on the other show, how, startups, VC, all that stuff, it is about being a disruptor. It's about being a contrarian. It's about seeing around the corner. It's about taking big risks. This country, in a sense, was founded. Well, I mean, it depends when you. I don't want to get into all the semantics, but let me put it this way: the Mayflower and all that stuff came over here as a sort of a venture capital type of deal. Like, hey, Queen of Spain gave him some money, merchant stuff, to come over here. See what we can get done, with the spice trade or whatever it was. And I don't have all my history exactly, so I have a reverse. I mean, this is super, super glossy, and I'm sure I'm getting a lot of it wrong, but the gist of it is right. To try to see what they can do and make happen here. And so, you had to believe that. At that time, people thought that the earth was flat. So they weren't sure we were even going to make it. Okay. And so, it's about taking risks. It's not about going with the herd. You can't be what's next if you're doing what's now. And that's the whole situation. So, you have to have a lot of unless you're in this, as Tomas said, and he's 100% right about that, in my opinion, of all in pod, they're just raising money, just raise a huge fund and then get your management fees and stuff like that. If you're in real venture capital, if you do the real stuff, if you're a real founder, real innovator, the way Musk is, the way a lot of these big players are, the OGs, then you're into taking risk. You're into really doing different things. You're not about following the crowd. You're about blazing the trail, players. And that's what we're seeing there. We're seeing a new revitalized Republican Party. We're off the country club. We're off the golf course. Nothing wrong with that. President Trump's got a mean golf game. We know that. We know the granddaughter's got a mean golf game. We love that. We're all for everybody, right? You want to do the yacht. You want to do the country club. You want whatever you want to do. That's cool. But it's for everybody. It's for the steel worker. It's for the factory worker. It's for the coal miner. It's for the farmer. It's for the Burger King worker, the McDonald's worker. We know we're for McDonald's. It's for all of this stuff. The stay-at-home mom, the teacher, the firefighter, the police. It doesn't matter, dude. It's for all of America right here. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, I love it. Ricky, here we go. Jenkins, let me get to some of these comments. We're getting all kinds of stuff. I really think that Trump will take New York. Ricky has a comment here. Ricky, scared money don't make money. 100%, Ricky. You're a player. You know what's going on. Naomi saying there's some technical difficulties. Switching over to X. Listen, they're trying to do. I'm sure there's a lot of people, a lot of things going on there right now. Real busy. Hopefully everything's going okay. Paul, does it look technically okay from your end?
I'm not sure because I'm not on it, but I'll look right now. It seemed okay when I looked at it before.
Just double check. Just make sure we're okay. Make sure we're cool.
I think so.
Double check.
But I can't really play it right now.
No, don't play it. Don't play it. Just make sure it's like you know what I can do. Like, yeah, it looks okay. It looks like we're good. It looks we're live here. We're looking good.
It seems all right for me. I'm getting the screen capture and everything.
We're looking good. We're looking good. We're doing the things. Okay, so we're fine. We should be fine. But hopefully things will come back. All right, so that's cool. So we appreciate that. Okay, so look, let's hear more from Musk right here because this is great.
Vote early. This is important.
This is what Musk has been saying for a while now. He's all about listen, get out there. The excitement's great, but he's about results. And again, this is a guy that's not only is he a great inventor, right, and a great entrepreneur, but he's a very great product manager, Paul. So he understands it's the end result, right? It's the thing he needs to do is, hey, I need to get this rocket in space and I need to land logistics. So he's worried about the logistics of what counts as the votes and all that type of stuff. So let's hear from us some more.
We're going to be putting up a scorecard, okay? An early vote scorecard, state by state, county by county. What is the scorecard? Vote early. Vote.
Did I just say that? And everyone said it before, but I mean, can you imagine this dude if he was in the government and doing the DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency? I mean, we're at a precipice right now. If you vote Trump Vance, in my opinion, I'm going to speak for you, but I'm sure you're on board, of being able to revitalize America, revitalize the government. I mean, I heard one person it's like we're telling the story of, I think it was like Isaacson or someone writing about how Elon turned around the plane. And this is my personal opinion. I'm not alleging anything, recollection, whatever, and all that. Paraphrase. Twitter and the cuts and dude, can you really show me someone that doesn't think that we have some level of waste or inefficiency in government, even if you think it's 0.5%, 1%, 2%, 5%, 10%, whatever? We're talking insanely huge budgets, trillions of dollars of debt. Someone like this is a proven cost cutter, but not just a cost cutter, because you really have two types of CEOs in Silicon Valley. That's not quite right, but generally, there's two major archetypes. I'm sure there's more. And one is the inventor, the founder. Well, probably three. Okay, and maybe I don't want to get too complicated here. The inventor, the founder, the product dreamer, the architect, all that type of stuff. And in the mix of that, you can have someone that's like, a lot of times you have either the technical type of hey, this technology is the best out there and everyone's got to try it. Well, okay, but you still have to have the product market fit. You need someone like a Steve Jobs type that can, or a Ballmer or someone like that can be a real, a guy Kawasaki can be a real evangelist and for the sales and marketing stuff. This stuff is cool and this is why you want it, right? Then you have people that are more the professional manager type and stuff like that are more like logistics. Hey, I get it. I get the widget done for a penny cheaper, 10 cents cheaper, whatever it is. I get things shipped on time. It's not vaporware. You know what I mean? So there's always that balance there. And then there's just the normal sort of managerial type and stuff that's kind of maybe fits between those different realms and can be extremely effective, like maybe someone like an Eric Schmidt or something like that. And I may be getting some of these analogies wrong, but you understand what I'm saying. But someone like Elon, what's so exciting about Elon is he can do it all. He can do it all. I mean, the dude, and he's so right, is being able to be excited about the future, to paint a vision. I mean, hey, in the 1960s, we're going to the moon. That was a crazy concept until it was done. And now Elon's talking about Mars and he's talking about, and he's getting it done. To have this level of talent, and I said this on X last night, we're so lucky to have Elon in America, Paul. So lucky to be living in his lifetime, to have that level of talent applied to the government. What do you think he can do for us?
Yeah, look, Elon can do a lot for us. I mean, like I said, Elon was great at the rally tonight. He was important being there. He was a key cog in what happened at this rally tonight, including, I mean, of course, we know what he's going to do and what he's going to bring for the future and for Doge and going forward with how it can help the government. But right now, the key is getting the election done, getting the win. Elon was there fueling the energy. He's the bridge. He was the person who introduced Melania, who introduced President Trump. People loved him. And as you said, he's a symbol of kind of the possibilities of humankind. And so we got this guy here tonight on our side. He's running tons of ads here in Pennsylvania because he knows how important the state is. He was perfect tonight. One of the things I loved, what RSBN was showing on a split screen, was President Trump told the story about catching the rocket.
Oh my
and
gosh.
While he was telling the story, which of course Trump called Elon right after it happened.
Yeah.
And there's, we got a split screen with Elon in the black dark MAGA hat with his mother, May, standing beside Melania. And Elon's kind of like doing hand signals and going with the story and doing reactions. It's like, you can't get that anywhere else.
Unbelievable.
These are two titans of the universe.
Yeah.
And here they are together at Madison Square Garden with 20,000 people inside, 100,000 people outside. And people are going crazy because you don't see things like this.
This is so crazy.
And that's what we saw tonight. It was just so off the chain. Everybody is through the roof right now and pumped up. And this energy is just going to continue. Early voting is going to happen, and we're going to get the win.
Listen, I want to go short tonight, but we'll go as long as you guys want it. Last time I thought I was going to do half an hour. We did an hour and a half. We had one of our biggest audiences ever on Rumble. On X was a solid audience. Right now, I see we're popping on X. We're going to talk about that. I want to thank people that are coming in here, retweeting it, posting it, liking it, engaging with it, and off of YouTube. YouTube was popping as well. YouTube Live for us was great. I think we were like 250 views, something like that, which is not bad for us on YouTube. And again, we're on these other different platforms and stuff like that. I want to get your reaction. I'm going to play the rest of Elon here. I want to get your reaction, Paul, right now. Well, in a second. Sorry, in a second. Let me play the rest of Elon here because I keep cutting that off. Because I know you watch the rally wall to wall. I watch pockets of it, different speakers, stuff like that. So I had to do some other stuff. Yeah. I want to know what your favorite parts of this rally are. Let me play the rest of Elon right here.
Now. Yeah.
I love it.
Make the margin of victory so big that you know what can't happen.
Elon is great, bro. It's just great.
That is awesome.
And he's doing his thing here, and then he's talking about different things. At one point, he gets all pumped up, I think. A couple of times he gets pumped up. He's just great, dude. This guy's amazing.
Lady Melania Trump.
Okay, so he's introducing stuff like that. Yeah, people are going crazy. It's fantastic. So, so Elon was doing good. Now, what I want to do right now is I want to go over. I want to engage right here and thank people for all the activity that we see right here. And then I want to go right back to Paul and kind of talk about what you thought about the rally. And then I want to do a contrast of the Kamala Harris event today. That was very interesting right here. And what are we looking at right now? 187 engagements right now so far on X. Appreciate that. Naomi Jenkins, appreciate that. I mean, we got Ronald Reagan right here. We don't have inflation because the people are living too well. We have inflation because the government's living too well. Reagan was awesome. Naomi Jenkins, appreciate that. Appreciate that from Dust. From Naomi Jenkins, appreciate that right here. Ingrid's following. Thank you for that. Golden Girls fan following. Your boy following. Appreciate that. Definitely appreciate people coming in here, stepping up, engaging with the content. We definitely appreciate that. Paul, what was your favorite part of this rally?
Honestly, Lance, I said this because look, the reason we're getting some engagements, whatever they're thinking about, is they're riding the emotion of this rally.
Oh my God.
They want to talk about it. They want to think about it. They want to be pumped up. And what is happening right now, my favorite part of the entire rally, personally, was seeing Melania. because
Yeah.
nobody knew she was going to be there. And what you could see with her tonight was how excited and happy she was. Look, you think about all that their family has been through, everything that was done with Melania, all the smearing, don't put her on the Vanity Fair covers, make jokes about Barron, which is her child. I mean, two attempts on her husband's,
Oh my
existence, all of these different things, and never on the cusp of total and utter victory. And so what happened tonight was she came out, she rocked it, she looked fantastic, and everybody was so happy for her and so excited to see her because, as I said earlier, no one expected to see her.
No.
And so to see her come out on the trail at the biggest event of this entire campaign just put everybody through the roof, man. I mean, that I think was my favorite part. And my second favorite part, probably the best performative part, was Hulk Hogan.
Oh, I didn't
Because
see
again,
that.
nobody knew he was going to be there.
No.
Bro, he did the whole thing. He walked out to Real American.
Oh, he did the whole thing.
Feather boas, with an American
Let's
flag.
go.
And guess what? After he did his thing,
go.
he did the pose down.
Oh, you got to do the pose down, bro. You got to do the pose down.
He's 71 and he looks jacked.
Oh, he's
he
jacked,
looks
bro. He's jacked.
huge.
Let me do this.
This thing was just wall to wall, super, super emotion, and I still am riding a high from it.
Tell us out there, audience. Tell us out there, what was your favorite part? What was your favorite part of the rally? Which speaker? Which event? Which moment? I will say this, Paul. Now, some people were criticizing Tony Hinchcliffe. Now, he's a great comedian. He's more used to the roast, the comedian circuit, that kind of stuff. He's part of that whole Rogan sphere, comedian stuff. And he's, he can hit pretty hard. He was I think he killed it. Maybe the best, along with Schultz was very good at the lady was incredible as well at the, Tom Brady roast. I was actually and Tom Brady was great. I mean, and there's so many of the people that were really great that really stepped up. Drew Bledsoe, I thought, stepped up. A lot of people stepped up with that Tom Brady roast. But Tony Hinchcliffe really killed it. Now, a lot of people criticizing Hinchcliffe. I can't play all of it and stuff like that.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
I'm going to play something.
I'm
going to play something. He had a line I thought was the line, and I don't want to steal it. It related to God. I'll let him speak for himself. And I think that, we're going to play that if I find it. I think it's around the 6-minute mark or 8-minute mark. I got to see. And it's just an incredible line. So wait for that. I'm going to pull it. But here we've got Tucker Carlson. And Tucker Carlson, one of the probably the biggest names.
Great speech.
Great speech. Let's go to Tucker Carlson. I'm not going to play all of it. Let's go to Tucker Carlson right now. Here we go.
It's such an honor to be here. And it's wild. Just another day.
Again, probably the biggest name, certainly independent name in media on the Republican side, in my opinion, and someone that used to be an insider, used to work for, Fox, the biggest name, something that's now gone independent, someone that's seen the light by his own admission, say, listen, I was wrong about this. So very important voice. Let's go to Tucker Carlson.
Following Bobby Kennedy Jr. at a Donald Trump rally in Madison Square Garden. I mean, what?
Yeah, who would have thought that, right? How crazy is that?
Ooh.
That's totally normal. Liz Cheney's out there with Kamala Harris. And there's Bobby Kennedy calling to protect women's sports at a Trump rally. It's a realignment. It's unbelievable. And the fact that it's here.
There we go. Very important. It's a realignment. It's a different deal. Even some people would have said maybe, we're in the never Trump camp or establishment camp or neocon camp are coming back. People, fingers in the wind. People are understanding which way this wind's blowing. This could be an electoral blowout. And I said it before. If you've been listening to John DeVillar show here and my radio show before that, and of course, Paul right there with me, we've been ahead of the game. We've been telling you this is either going to be close or it's going to be a blowout. But if it's a blowout, it's going to be a blowout on the Republican side. And we're seeing the energy and the early voting and stuff. We're going to get into that. And we're going to get into the latest stuff and the latest polls. We're going to read those tea leaves. And I even said this weeks ago. I said, watch Michigan. Watch Virginia. And lo and behold, what are we seeing coming in? But even Nevada surprised me. There's a lot of movement here. Back to Tucker Carlson. It is a realignment.
Is even sweeter. Imagine if you're, and just pause for one moment. Imagine you're Donald Trump. You're from New York City. You become famous in New York City. You make your fortune in New York City. And all of a sudden, the leadership of New York City decides they're going to destroy you because they don't like your politics. And so they, yeah, boo. Imagine if that were you, though. And they try and take.
It's a very interesting line right here. And Eric Trump talked about that. He's like, New York made Donald Trump, and Donald Trump helped make New York. I mean, you're talking about.
Yeah,
he did, right, Paul? I mean, he came up
100%.
Go ahead.
Look, Trump has or did have some of the most iconic buildings in New York. One of them, of course, being Trump Tower.
Absolutely.
Trump Tower, when it was built, I want to say it was in the 90s or something, was one of the most sought after places to be.
No question.
In the whole damn city.
No
and
question.
Everybody knows that. That's the reason why. What's one of the reasons why Trump became such a well-respected and well-liked celebrity, because everybody wanted to be associated with his properties because they were so good. They captured the spirit of New York. In other words, just like now we're talking about Elon, that's kind of how Trump was for New York City back in the day. He was what everybody wanted to be. He was giving New York the kind of giving them the sense of identity that they wanted. They wanted to be cool and chic and everything. And that's what Trump and his buildings and his establishments did for them. It was almost like a Studio 54 type thing when that was cool back in the day, except Trump stuff was not, whatever. It was better than that. That's gave people, like, it gave them an extra confidence boost or a boost of like reputation. That's who Donald Trump was. Everybody loved him. And of course, they only didn't like him when he started running for office as a Republican. But yeah, this event, like I said, the energy was so much. Tucker Carlson's, his speech was incredible. Dr. Phil's speech was incredible. Nobody knew he was going to be there. Again, Hogan was off the chain. Just the through and through energy was unbelievable.
Let me pause you just for a second. You brought up something really important, and I'm going to go to the Jerry thing. And it happened overnight. And I was up, and then Paul wasn't up, and we were going to do a response, and everyone looked at this. The Joe Rogan thing with Trump. First of all, super consequential. We're dealing with 31.2 million views, players, only 2 days ago. Powerful JRE here, obviously on YouTube, huge subscriber base on YouTube, Spotify, everything. He's the king in the podcast space writ large, no doubt about it. But Rogan led off talking about this, how Trump was an icon and was loved by the media, and then things flipped. I'll let him speak for himself. I might be catching just a little bit in here. We're going to start right here.
Play it because it could get copyright strike, and we don't want to get the episode. We don't want anybody to have any sort of a way to get it down.
Sure.
But it was the episode of you when you were on The View, and I think it was 2015 or 2006, like when you were running for president.
Right.
And you got introduced as our friend Donald Trump.
That's right.
Whoopi Goldberg gives you a big hug and a kiss. Joy Behar gives you a big hug. Barbara Walters gives you a big hug. They all loved you. They were all talking about how you might be conservative in your financial positions, but you're very liberal socially. They were talking about you as such a favorable light. The audience was cheering.
Everybody loved him. And now what Trump says is, and I'll play just a little bit more of this, and then we'll go to the rest of it. We'll go back to Tucker Carlson. What he's saying is, and this is a 3-hour interview. If you haven't seen it, absolutely need to see. This is a great interview. Just play in your car, whatever. I mean, this is an interview. There's so many things that this can win the election, but I think this interview by themselves, has a significant, could have a significant impact on this election, Paul. I think it's as a closing argument, as a way to diffuse all of the, Trump is so bad, orange man bad type of thing. But also what Trump says here is that, they didn't think I was going to win. So, and this is a guy that was, that was a big celebrity. He was on TV. He was on a high-rated show in prime time, threw money around New York. This was a big-time dude in New York City, a billionaire in real estate. in the social scene, had all kinds of cool properties, and in media as well. Let's hear the rest of this.
And then you actually started winning in the polls, and then the machine started working towards you.
There you go.
But there's probably no one in history that I've ever seen that's been attacked the way you've been attacked, and the way they've done it so coordinated and systematically. When you see those same people in the past, very favorable to you, like Oprah, when you were on Oprah's show, she was encouraging you.
And again, this was 2015. It wasn't that long ago. Let me just speed this up a little bit. I want to get to what Trump is saying here, and then we'll go back to Tucker.
Mark said, you're crazy. Don't run. No. Nobody gives up primetime, they said. It's one of those little things, which is probably true.
So in other words, his life was great. He didn't need this. He didn't need it. A lot of people, like, the pinnacle of their life, Paul, would be to be a congressperson or a state senator. And those are big positions. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. It's a huge position. Now, president, you're the most powerful person in the world. There's only been U.S. presidents, only been 46 of them. And we're going to elect a 47th. So that's a huge deal. In some ways, it's the ultimate, it's the pinnacle. But in a lot of ways, like, a lot of people, like, I don't need the hassle of that, dude. I mean, there's a saying, Paul, of the three things that you're looking for, money, power, or fame. Which one would you really try? And I think the punchline is, why don't you try money and see if that doesn't just about take care of it? And of course, one of the ones can, help influence or get the others, or, whatever, and all that type of stuff. But very interesting here. I just want to play just a teeny bit more of this and get out of here.
Nobody gives up prime time, though, for being president?
For running against 20 some odd people, it turned out to be 18 professional people, mostly politicians. They said, who would do this? I mean, it's a long shot. Actually, the heads of NBC came over. It's
a long shot. So why are you risking this? Why are you giving everything up? Because you're not going to win. Ever remember, that was supposed to be the Jeb Bush coronation. I mean, his PAC was named Right to Rise. Like, it was a Jeb explanation. And I'm not trying to punk out Jeb. I've said different things before. I don't want to rehash any of that. We're close. But I mean, and look, I think a lot of those people have woke up and are starting to come around, and we have a big tent. We're all for everyone. It's been a realignment. Some won't, and some have been, they're going on the other side now. And maybe they're never Trumpers and stuff like that, or whatever that it is. And Trump disrupted all that. So when you think about, that's why I think there's affinity between him and Musk, Paul, because I mean, the level of risk involved in what Trump did, it's just extraordinary. And even Elon's like, if I don't get elected, I'm probably going to be arrested or something like that. I mean, and listen, look at what's going on. Look at what these things have reported about, things happening in different places. I'm not even going to get specific on it. Just look it up. It doesn't take much to look it up about Russ. And that's the richest person in the world, dude. And so, I mean, we're living in this dystopian type of situation. In one sense, this is the greatest land, the land of the free, home of the brave, everything like that. On the other hand, if they can go after Trump and they can go after Elon Musk, who can they not go after? And the answer is nobody, dude. Nobody. And so a lot of people are waking up. And so to some extent, like Vivek says, this is a 1776 moment. I got to do this. I got to go to we're having a lot of interaction here, and we definitely appreciate all of y'all out there. Unbelievable. 256 interactions here on X. Thank you over to Christopher's liking the post, doing stuff like that. We appreciate we're nothing without the audience out there. We appreciate you guys liking it and engaging with it and continuing to do that. And we definitely, we're doing it for us, but we're doing it for you too, right? I mean, so that's why we stay on topic, stay on the shows, extend shows, do different things, do more shows. This is an important time, Paul. And I think a lot of people are stepping up. A lot of people are saying we need to be engaged. You're seeing Elon super busy, but he's out there engaged. Yeah. You're there on the ground in Pennsylvania. What are you seeing in the level of engagement? What are you seeing Elon's doing all kinds of town halls, JD Vance is there. Vivek is there. What are you seeing down there?
Yeah, look, Vance did 2 events here yesterday. He was in Erie and he was in Harrisburg, and Trump was near my stretch of the woods at State College.
Wow.
He was at Penn State. So they're all over this place. And as the Sun Belt, I think it's, if it starts to look even more favorable to Trump, then you're really going to see him here, because I think you start focusing on the 3 blue wall states. Look, you mentioned, I'm just saying this with Musk and Trump and the amount of risk involved. Tonight was like a celebration.
It was.
In like the Rebel Alliance against the Empire in Star Wars. This was like a party at like one of the outposts in those things. That's what this was. This was a whole bunch of people that are pushing back against the
yeah, you got Luke, you got Han Solo, you got the Ewoks, you got everyone all pumped up, or like Lord of the Rings, where you're about to drop the ring, you're about to drop the ring into Mount Doom and change the whole situation. Go ahead, Paul.
Exactly. And Dr. Phil said that, one of the things that made his speech so great was he was talking about, like, look, we've got to stop this, losing or ending friendships because of who political affiliations were. We have to stand up to the cancel culture. So tonight was almost like a people coming together that are important, interesting people that are coming together to work super hard to make sure this election goes the way that it needs to go, not just for themselves, not just because they have their own risk involved, like Elon and President Trump, but because it's the right thing for the country. It's the right thing for the world, because we're still the shining beacon on the hill, and we have to try to stay that way. And we have these great titans of our time who are saying, yes, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. And tonight was a celebration of that. And it was kind of just this in all of its splendor and energy. And that's what happened tonight. And the people are feeling it.
People are feeling, no doubt about it. I've got something backstage action here from inside access, if you will, from Laura Trump, co-chair of the GOP, now obviously daughter-in-law of Donald Trump, married to Eric Trump. They both did great tonight, no doubt about it. I want to do a little bit more sound here from Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson, who could have retired, plenty of money, dude. I mean, I'm not his accountant or anything like that. But he's got a place here in Florida, a place up in, I think, Maine or something like that. I don't know. The guy's killing it. He's doing great. Let's just see what he had to say here in the middle. He was having fun.
10 years telling you Trump is a hater. Do you feel that on him? No, you don't. Because it's not there. I've spent a lot of time with Trump. And there's not one moment I've ever been with him off camera where he's spending his time grousing about people he hates.
Right.
Ever. He's talking about the people and the country he loves in his private time. Trust me. And people know, in a country that's been taken over by a leadership class that actually despises them and their values and their history and their culture and their customs, really hates them to the point that it's trying to replace them.
Well, let's go to the end here. I mean, Tucker's been saying different things I hear, and he's great, but obviously we're going to have to just little here, a little there.
What's embarrassing is when Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Elon Musk and Tulsi Gabbard and pretty much every high school senior and college shorty girl in the country has come out finally say, yeah, I am for Donald Trump, actually.
Right.
When the entire country has realized there is nothing embarrassing about this.
Right.
What's embarrassing?
A lot of young people, Paul, and we'll play the little 15 more seconds of this. A lot of young people, Paul, are very much pro-Trump. It's changed the game. The college campuses, Charlie Kirk's out there, Turning Point USA, a lot of other people. Vivek's been going out there. I mean, it's a different vibe on the college campus. Not all of them, but I mean, you're having very different situations. Part of that is Trump is going out there speaking directly to people through these podcasts, Paul.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, Mark Halpern pointed out yesterday that the crowd here at Penn State was the youngest Trump rally crowd he's ever seen. That's right. You want to know why? Because there's plenty of young people in this area and at Penn State here in the middle of Pennsylvania who are huge Trump fans. Penn State is more of a kind of blue-collar university, and there's tons of MAGA people here. And that's what showed up yesterday. And that crowd, that was a darn big crowd at there yesterday.
Let's see a little bit more of this.
The first thing is to take a perfectly great country and destroy it, as they have. I'm not ashamed. You should be. At that moment, it's going to be pretty tough for them 10 days from now to look in the eye to America with a straight face. It's going to be pretty hard to look at us.
I haven't heard this whole
and say, you know what? Kamala Harris, she got 85 million votes because she's just so impressive. As the first.
Okay. So look, I mean, Tucker Carlson's out there doing his thing. Now, here's the thing. You have Lord Trump, little backstage access here. I don't know what the sound is. I haven't played the sound here. I just I play this without the sound, so I'm not sure what we're going to see here. Let's see Lord Trump, co-chair of the GOP. Here we go. Put the sound off for the music. Look at that. You got Eric Trump there. You got Trump doing his thing. Hulk Hogan over there. You got different things. How cool is that? I love it, dude. Paul, it goes to your point. People are having fun. They're having fun. They're doing different things like that. I mean, they're having a good time. Mark Halperin saying something else. Let's see what's going on there. I mean, it's a different vibe. Now, contrast that. And we're going to get to early voting. We're going to get to polls. We're going to get to different stuff. So contrast that with Kamala Harris. Woo. We had a situation here. I'm not going to be able to play all of this. Kamala Harris, I guess, was at a church situation. This is courtesy of Fox News. Let's see what happened over here with Kamala Harris at this situation. It's just a different vibe, players. Here we go.
Message holds great urgency. As a nation, we face real challenges. We carry.
Now, here's the thing. There's been a lot of hecklers at Harris events recently. She's responded in different ways. A lot of times she's like, go to the smaller rally over there down the street, or I'm speaking now, stuff like that. So I don't know. Let's see what happens here.
Real. We carry.
Now, see, it's interesting. I don't know if someone told her, hey, doing that doesn't work, or you're coming off too mean, or if it's Sunday, you're in church, you got to stay within a certain parameter. I don't know. We're seeing a little bit of a different reaction here to the hecklers, Paul. Let's play a little bit more, and I'm going to get your reaction.
That's why we fight for democracy. That's why we fight for democracy.
Okay, but you know what? That's a good response. Like, that's a much better response than Harris has had in the past, Paul. What do you think of that? But the vibe is it's just a different vibe there, different energy level. Obviously, it's not a big rally. You're in a church. What's your reaction to that Harris clip?
Yeah, you know what? It reminds me, Rogan and I posted this. Rogan and his buddies kind of reacted to the Trump interview the day after they did it. They're kind of sitting around. They were talking about, Trump's just kind of loose and rolls. And they were talking about how Kamala wouldn't go on the podcast. And they were saying that, like, look, her team's telling her, like, it's like having producers in your ear on a show telling you, don't say this, don't do this, don't do this. The problem, one of the issues for her, in my opinion, is she's thinking about everything so much. She's trying to, like, don't laugh, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. And it comes off as kind of like just forced and like not authentic. That was a better reaction, and I think, than some of the ones that she's had. But when you're dealing with somebody as spontaneous and fun as Trump is, it's just so difficult to go against that. So look, I give her credit for that was a pretty good response. But you know what? Everybody's going to come off looking wooden and not personable compared to President Trump.
Yeah, and that's
the difficulty it is taking with going against him.
Let me say this real quick. As you said that, it made me remind me. I saw a little bit more of the clip. Look at this right here, players. Teleprompter 1, teleprompter 2, right here. I mean, she's doing the new teleprompter. Let's see if there's anything else going on here. I mean, you've got the teleprompters going on right there with Kamala Harris. Yeah. Like, I mean, it's just, can you do anything without the teleprompter? Trump didn't have any teleprompter players. I mean, it's like that I saw. I mean, and he did Joe Rogan 3 hours with no teleprompters and stuff like that. So it's just a different situation. As you said, Paul, that's a really big point. It's just, you just get the feeling that it's all scripted with Harris. Or just too much of it scripted with Harris, and let's see if she said anything else here meaningful here. You know what I mean? And that's just it's just not working. That contrast is too strong. And doing what? I don't know what's going on. There's coming out, or I don't know what's happening.
All right.
All right.
It's all right.
It's all right. Here we go.
All right.
Yeah, I'm off my ship.
Every voice is important.
It's okay.
All right.
It's all right.
He literally will repeat the same things over and over when she has nothing to say. It's just like when there was something about the 32. 32. 32. It's a good number.
Yeah.
32. It's 16 plus 16 is 32. And you spell 32. I mean, it's like what? I mean, I'm not trying to be a punk, but you just have such a difference in dichotomy between that and Trump, dude. I mean, Trump is, dude, the dude's like in his 70s and just went 3 hours with Rogan, bro. And let me bring it back to that real quick, because I think let's go to the very end here. The very end. I mean, you've got Trump, and I got to be careful. And thanks and props to Joe Rogan and definitely courtesy of Joe Rogan Experience, stuff like that. Go check it out and check the whole thing. But I'm just going to play this is 2 hours and 53 minutes into this, players. 2 hours and 53. This is a 70-plus-year-old man who's probably done who knows how many events, who was wheels up from Florida, that went into Austin, did a speech in Austin, then did this. Here we go.
I have to protect American companies.
So why doesn't the Biden administration do this?
Because they're incompetent. They don't know how to talk.
Quit.
They met in Alaska with the Chinese, and the Chinese lecture.
And he's got stories, and he's still going, Paul. I mean, the dude is impressive. You can't fake that, Paul.
You can't fake it. And Rogan and his buddies were talking about how he's just such almost a freak of nature, because he's such a good entertainer.
Mm-hmm.
He has incredible comedic timing. Rogan's was talking about all this. Of course, Rogan himself a comedian. Look, it was so good. And one of the things that I thought that was great with the rally is, of course, President Trump is what he is and how great he is. And Elon is what he is and how great he is. But you have other figures like Vivek. You have who was there and had a great speech tonight. You have people like J.D. Vance. You have Dana White.
Let's go to
Byron Donalds walked out tonight to John Cena's old WWE
Byron
song. Where did that come from?
Props to Byron Donalds.
And I posted that.
Go ahead. Props to Byron Donalds. I need to go on his Twitter. We're going to show his son. I think blocked the kick or something. His son is huge. Some football player, something like that. I mean, unbelievable. I'm glad you said that. Go ahead. Finish your thought, and then I'm going to show something. Go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, all I want to say is that not only do we have these guys, we have all these young guys coming up with unbelievable amounts of talent.
The bench.
And so
the bench.
We've got this incredible bench and this incredible youth movement of talented people. Whereas you're going, it's Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Joe Biden. These guys are done. And so we have all of this energy, youth, and excellence, and that's what we're presenting now. And it's just a completely different thing. As you said, it's a totally different thing from the Bush era. And that's what is so appealing to so many people, and it's just so exciting to be a part of.
Let's talk about the bench, and let's talk about the main player on the bench, who's not really on the bench, he's in the game. He's in the game player coach type of situation. And here we go, or maybe Trump's the player coach, but here we go. J.D. Vance, super hot prospect, called up to the majors in the in starting lineup. Here we go, VP presidential candidate J.D. Vance.
Ask yourself a basic question about network integrity. You guys
sparring with Jake Tapper, and this got a little contentious players. Let's see what's up here. Courtesy of who's this? Glenn Greenwald. Thank you, Glenn Greenwald. I think this may have been Colin Rugg that did this. I don't know. On Elon Musk's page, here we go. J.D. Vance
talked about the Russia hoax nonstop.
The FBI was investigating it. The FBI was investigating it. So we recovered them.
And so
it's all legit. It's whatever they say is we take it because we don't question authority, Paul. We don't question power. We don't have any reporters. We're just CNN. We're worldwide. We didn't check that out. Here's the thing. It's one thing on day one, Jake Tapper, day 2, day 3, day 5, day 20. When you're 4+ years into this, players and impeachments and stuff like that, you might want to do your own checking. You might want to kind of verify and see what's going on. You might want to check that. That's a little silly of an argument, in my opinion. Let's see what JD Vance. Hey, the FBI said it. There we go. Here we go. The FBI said the aliens landed yesterday. The FBI said I need to jump off a Brit. Here we go.
You took the words of unnamed FBI agents and put them on your network as if they were the gospel truth. You did it again and again.
Hey, Paul, what happened to the 51 former intelligence officers on the laptop? How about that? Here we go, Jake Tapper. JD Vance, dude, you can't mess with this, bro. He's a Yale law graduate. I'm not saying that's everything, but that's a lot, players. That's a lot. Jake Tapper ain't rocking that. Here we go. No disrespect to Jake Tapper. He's one of the smarter ones out there, in my opinion, on the air. Okay, I don't have a huge beef with Jake Tapper. We don't agree on politics, but you know he can be kind of reasonable, kind of smart guy and stuff like that. And I like everybody. I'll call it the way it is. You know what I mean? But let's see what's up.
Viewer of your network would have believed that Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin conspired in 2016.
No.
That was totally and preposterously false.
No.
Well, that's what you just said.
People were saying.
We covered an FBI investigation. I don't know why you want to talk about the FBI investigation.
I mean,
you covered it in a way.
I'm out. Could you have even turned on MSNBC or some of these? I'm not alleging anything. I'm just speculating my personal opinion, trying to recall. I may be wrong. The right to revise and extend. But some of these, I mean, people were like, I mean, it was nonsense. They tried to regenerate some of that stuff for this time, Paul. It's crazy. And what's so hilarious is Putin came out and said he endorsed Kamala Harris. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Go ahead, JD Vance.
That gave credence to anonymous sources' accusations. You did it yourself. Your network did it, Jake.
Ooh.
But again, can we talk about the issues that Americans care
I'm talking
most
about things that Donald Trump has said.
Yes.
If you have it,
But that's the thing. See, this is the thing, Paul, and they go back and forth on this a little bit more. I might play a little bit more, but you get the gist of it.
Yeah.
It's that Vance, we're 10 days out from election. We have a lot of different, by public opinion polling, right? The news media is supposed to inform the public, right? So by public polling, they're saying, hey, immigration or economy, inflation, those are the top three issues. This whole like democracy, who said what, you know, it was Colonel Mustard in the closet, you know, all this whodunit clue stuff. That's all like way down there, way below.
Yep.
And this is what they're trying to push. And this is your time, your last interview. So, well, maybe not the last, but could be the last Sunday interview with a presidential, you know, a candidate for the Republican side, the side that's leading now in the polls, and you're just going to spend time on this and not talk about any of the other more relevant stuff about the now? It doesn't make sense. Let's see what JD has to say, and I'll get your comments.
issue with whether or not he's talking about the economy enough, that's between you and your running mate. I'm talking about things he has said this week.
Every single rally that he does, he talks about how he wants to unleash American energy so we can lower the cost of groceries. He talks about the fact that housing has become unaffordable. He talks about the wide open border.
Right.
Kamala Harris and her allies, you know, it's interesting. Kamala Harris and her media allies, and I would put CNN in this category. You guys,
They wouldn't.
You guys seem to care.
I'll tell you that.
They would. Well, they should watch.
It's not about what they would do. It's about what do people think, player. It's what people think. Oh, by the way, thank you to everyone. We're over 300 interactions right here on X. We really appreciate it. One of our best efforts. We're seeing a lot of people here on Rumble. Appreciate that. Appreciate Chris Pavlovsky and the whole team over there at Rumble. Appreciate YouTube as well, and Facebook and X. And I mean, look, JD Vance is trying to get him on point here. I mean, this is like this is all red herring. There's a lot of this. There's a lot of red herring stuff, in my opinion, fluff from Jake Tapper.
Watch your network more, because you guys seem to care more about Donald Trump's past than the future of the American people. We're running this campaign on making the American dream.
I'm specifically asking about how Donald Trump.
And they keep coming back to this. Let's see how JD Vance ends up about this.
Back against him and said that what he said was dishonest. So why don't we talk about the policy that's affecting American citizens and not what Donald Trump allegedly said, according to one guy who's pissed off because he got fired by Donald Trump?
Punked. And what he basically said was, look, you know, okay, we've got these claims of stuff that happened a long time ago that nobody really cares. Not that many Americans say they care about right now. Obviously, some people care about it, right? And it was immediately contradicted, and people said that they were there. I can't remember Ayers. Is it Nick Ayers or something like that? He's on. I see him on Twitter. Nick Ayers is saying, "Listen, I was in the room, and there's different people disputing this type of stuff." And then like, look, he wants to get to policy, but this is what the media is going with. And when they go with this, which is kind of like the Democrats' talking points, then people say, well, hey, you know, it feels like, and you have David Sachs and Elon Musk and others saying, hey, you know, what about these licenses? Like, it just feels like the legacy media are kind of like, you know, feels like they're way more supportive of the Democratic side. It doesn't feel balanced, Paul.
Yeah, look, I put that clip up earlier today. A lot of people saw it. And look, Vance absolutely got the better of Tapper. Like you said, I give Tapper credit. He was smart. He was as prepared as he possibly could be to try to keep coming back to the John Kelly stuff and everything. Vance wasn't going for it. Of course, Vance got him at the end. And look, I mean, even Jake knows that he got him. And I think Jake understands. I'm sure Jake has a pretty good understanding of where the early voting is right now, because it was really nice to Vance at the end. And, you know,
we're going to get to
what I think the Trump team did was they had Meet the Press, Face the Nation, and CNN come to Vance's rally in Erie, and they hit these 3 interviews in a row. They taped them. And my understanding or my belief is that they wanted Vance to knock down the John Kelly stuff. And that's essentially what he did. He did it particularly with Jake, and he did it really well. And as you said, you're going to say all this stuff. I'm going to tell you why I think it's false. And then I'm going to tell you that nobody cares about it. And what you should be talking about, reporter, which is what you, John, just mentioned, is you need to be talking about the economy. You need to be talking about immigration and so on and so forth. And Vance is just so expert at this. We got a couple hoaxes this week. I think we may be setting up for a couple hoaxes this upcoming week. Maybe they send Vance out to the Sunday shows next week to kind of wrap everything up and make a closing argument before Election Day. Vance has been just such an incredible pick. Remember, we were talking about how people thought he was a bad pick? Vance is unbelievably talented.
That's why I put it up there. I advocate for Vance from the jump. I knew he was going to be great.
Yeah, you did.
I did.
You absolutely did.
Early on that, I was in there trying to do all, and I just was so great. Oh, by the way, we need to play this. We need to play this too. I forgot this before we go. I was going to go to the thing. I do want to play this right here. Well, let's go this because I already have it up, and we'll come back to it. Players. And by the way, we're already over 1,000 impressions on the video on X. I mean, we're just rocking and rolling here. And this is definitely appreciate everyone out there. Let's look at this. Paul, the polls have collapsed for Harris. I mean, and just so rapidly here. And now we have a lead by RCP average of 0.1% by Trump. And we're just seeing, tie, Trump +3, tie, Trump +2. I mean, if we don't have ABC Ipsos and Morning Consult, I mean, you're having a significant, lead here. And this time before, Biden up 7.4. 2016, Clinton was up 5.6. I mean, this is just devastating for the Democrats, stuff like that. And again, we go state by state here. It's the same story, different day. Oh, Trump up 1.5 right here in Arizona. These are the swing states, a 7. What about Nevada? Trump up 0.7. I mean, Ralston, how those guys are feeling about that right there? Wisconsin. Let's talk about Wisconsin.
Not
Trump up
good.
0.2. Michigan, he just got endorsed by the imams. We're gonna play that too. He just got endorsed. We've got Trump up 0.2 right here. Okay, in Michigan, this is the blue wall. If Quinnipiac's not there, how much more is he up there? I mean, she's got the Harris campaign has to defend Pennsylvania. This is like the swing state. Trump up 0.6. You're seeing a red wave right here. You're seeing all kinds of stuff. You're seeing it break out for Trump. Okay. North Carolina. What about North Carolina? North Carolina, Trump up 0.8 right there. Georgia. Is Georgia gone? It looks gone, players. Trump up 2.3. The whole situation's changing for him. It's not looking good. It's not looking good for the Democrats right now. Paul, your comments.
It's not looking good. And look, it's important. People need to still get out there, vote, do your early voting. You've got a ballot, mail it in, send it in. But right now, I think, today was like the last weekend of most in-person early voting for states like North Carolina, for states like Georgia. This is when the Democrats are supposed to make their kind of big moves like souls to the polls in Georgia. It's not happening. If we don't see some big changes extremely quickly,
Sorry, go ahead.
We could be going into Election Day with things looking like almost nearly impossible for her to make up. That's what we're heading to right now. Pennsylvania is shaping up well for Trump. Wisconsin looks like it's shaping up well for Trump. The entire Sun Belt is looking good for Trump. You mentioned Ralston, of course, he's in Nevada. Nevada's looking good for Trump. Right now, the Republicans have the early vote lead in Nevada by like 30,000 votes. That doesn't sound like a lot for in Nevada. That's a huge amount. That's probably 2.5% of the total of what will end up being the final vote total in Nevada. Everything is going right now towards Trump's direction. Can she still change that? Yes, but you're now talking about like 8 days, 9 days, and Trump's got all the momentum rolling off of this huge, enormous rally tonight. You're having things in church with hecklers. Trump has 20,000 people in Madison Square Garden. It's just a split screen, and you're losing the split screen if you're the Democrats.
You're losing the split screen with your Democrats, no doubt about it. And in part of what, and as an example of that, I'm going to play this right here from Donald Trump's YouTube page. Very powerful situation. Kamala Harris did not pick sitting Democrat Governor Josh Shapiro from Pennsylvania. And a lot of people thought, myself included, that was a huge mistake. That was probably the right pick for her as vice president. But some have said that maybe she was concerned about losing support from, because of what's going on overseas. And others say, well, maybe she was afraid of being upstage, outshined, because Shapiro, in my opinion, is more impressive. Speaking and rallies and stuff like that, as a policymaker than Vice President Harris. No disrespect to Vice President Harris. But you're seeing with Bill Ackman and others where Kamala Harris is not only losing support in certain community, in the Jewish community, in my opinion, we're seeing that in polls. Still overwhelmingly, supportive of Democratic. That's from what I'm seeing. But I think that's just changing so rapidly. And I've been very, 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 very careful on what I want to say here. And if I make a mistake, I apologize. I reserve the right to revise and extend. And my wife's, from Israel and everything like that. And so I know, like, this is here's the thing. This is a super challenging issue. And it takes someone to deal with it head on of strength and conviction. And Donald Trump has dealt with it and says that he will deal with it. And the funny thing, the interesting thing is, Paul, is that Trump, not only is he getting more, I think he's got strong support from, I'll let him speak for himself. I think he's got strong support from Benjamin Netanyahu. I think those two have a very good relationship. Trump moved the embassy to Jerusalem. I think he's picking up support from the Jewish community in America. We're seeing, Bill Ackman, others. We're also seeing huge support here, Jewish community in Florida, all kinds of other places, stuff like that. But he just got an endorsement from a mayor of the Muslim mayor of Michigan here, and imams and stuff like that. And I won't speak for them. I'll let them speak for themselves. Okay. And I mean, and at the same time, I played on the other show, the Holocaust victim, because they were trying to say, oh, Trump is I'm not going to say the word, stuff like that, 19, in World War II type of stuff. Okay. And this guy said, you can't say that. And basically that's my super paraphrase of it. Okay. And now I want to play this sound right here and let it speak for itself.
Good afternoon, Michiganders.
This is Imam. I'll try to pronounce this right. If I pronounce it wrong, I definitely apologize. It's Imam Bilal al-Zuhari's endorsement. Right here we go.
As the president said, we just had a positive meeting with President Trump. We as Muslims stand with President Trump because he promises peace. He promises peace, not war.
Look how excited. Look, and they should be. He promises peace, not war. And even in his own family, Trump has, I believe, a Lebanese grandson-in-law or something like that. I think his son-in-law, Tiffany Trump. Yeah, Tiffany Trump, and I think they're having a baby, so he's gonna have her grandsons like that. And of course, Jared Kushner and others. I mean, he's got Arab folks in his family, Jewish folks in his family. I mean, he lives the thing. He lives it out there. He's a granddad. He wants peace. And let's continue the statement here. Let's continue the statement. I'm not going to play the whole thing because it's a short clip. So, and Trump put it, so I'm sure he's fine with it, but I'll just play it just a teeny bit here.
We are supporting Donald Trump because he promised to end war in the Middle East and Ukraine.
That's it. That's the main thing. He's promising to end war. People are tired of the wars. People are asking themselves over and over, what are we doing in all these wars? Why are we spending this money? People can't, there's veterans that are homeless. There are people that are addicted to opioids and stuff like that. There are people that can't get jobs, Paul. There's people that are, a lot of this immigration thing is, hey, what's going on with the safety of Aurora, Colorado, different apartment buildings? What about the fentanyl? What about housing? There's people that there was an undercover thing. I think James O'Keefe sent some people. And again, I'm not trying to be, hyperbolic or salacious or anything like that, but they literally walked in, I think the Roosevelt Hotel in New York City and got reservations. And there's people that had this app that used to be, I think Trump was saying for trade or something. I don't know. He said on the Rogan thing that basically you fly over here and you're getting, some people are getting rent, stuff like that, protected status. Like it's craziness. I mean, you can't, we want as much legal immigration. We want, and Elon's talking about, like having a sports team. You want Steph Curry. You want, people that you can't have a situation where people with PhDs and MBAs and all stuff or investment that want to come over here and they can't, they're standing in the line and it's taking them years and they're jumping through hoops and other people can just walk right in and we're going to give them money. Like that's a system that's going to break. It doesn't make any sense, right? Paul, your reaction to Trump really kind of winning support from both sides here. And that's what I said before. I'll say, well, not saying I'm saying too much, but this is what drives me crazy. How do you have a situation where you have Trump doing better with Hispanics, better with African Americans, better with African American men, better with men in general, better with young kids, better with the Jewish community, better with the Muslim community, better with all these different communities, and yet somehow it's supposed to be close? It's not going to be close, players. I mean, if the early voting continues the way it's continuing, if the polls continuing, and Paul, you made the comment before that some of these pollsters, and we're not alleging anything, but I mean, like we'll see how many continue the polls because the trend is disastrous for the Democrats right now, and that goes back to the whole MSG thing. You see a celebration, you see an energy, you see a momentum. There are some people that are reporting that the Democrats know they're going to lose, and you're seeing the people on the left that are just. They're already frustrated. There was this, I don't even know if I want to play it. Maybe I will. I don't know. I got to find it too. There was this young girl that looks like a college age or something like that. I guess there were two competing sides and protests outside the Kamala Harris event. But this young girl came up and there's this guy who had a little speaker and his dad was there. But I guess his daughter was there in a baby stroller. It looked like a young toddler. I can't even 2-3 years old, maybe. I don't know. And this girl comes up and just starts screaming at the toddler. It was insane. Even the Harris were like, hey, you're at the baby. What are you doing? I cannot, like the left is becoming unhinged, Paul, some people.
Yeah, they totally are. And like I said, look, it's a contrast. It's a contrast, as you said, Trump with the imams and getting, the kind of the unity and the message of peace. Versus this, like whatever the woman, and the baby. I don't know what was going on with that. Look, I've said this before. We talked about this in other shows. There's a commercial running right now for I think it's Kamala Harris's main PAC, the Future Forward PAC, which is like her kind of sister PAC or whatever it is. And anyway, I don't even remember what the ad is about. But there's a woman in it that is holding a baby in one arm and like dancing. And then they're like, it's like talking about something like Trump and I'm like, what is this ad? Who is this ad aimed at? I'm seeing this ad here in central Pennsylvania when this is probably meant to be an ad for like, I don't know, like Philly or something. And it's like, I don't know. There's no sense of touch to how these people are running their political campaign. They have a tin ear. They don't know what they're doing, and we're seeing the results of that. It's like look, I'm happy about it as a Trump supporter, but I'm like, who set up this campaign? It's just so bad.
Yeah, it's so, and I'm gonna play. I found it right here. I'm probably not gonna play the sound, or I might cut into the sound, like, because there's language here and stuff like that. It's just too unhinged. But just so you know that I'm not like making this up, dudes. I mean, this is, I couldn't believe what I saw. This is like, they're gonna look back and it's like, what was I doing? I mean, you'd hope, right? I mean, this is crazy. I have a little daughter. I mean, like, you know, it's growing up now, but I mean, like no way, dude. As a parent. Oh, so okay. So, even the hair support, like, no. That's a get out of here. That's a hair. So like, well, look at that. See right there, like it's so insane, dude. Who does that? And then what it didn't show is she kind of came through the crowd and just like, bro, it's like, yeah, there's a longer one where she just beelines over there and comes over here, and then she starts screaming. Now, I mean, like, now, see, this woman right here, to me, I don't know. I have no idea. That seems like a mom to me right here. Like, you aren't doing that to a kid. That's not. Let me cut this. Like, we're not doing that. Let me play that. That's a baby. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. Who does that? And Paul, but it's not even. I saw this other thing. And I need to find this. I'll find this. Like, there was this other thing where this lady comes up to someone's house, and they had they were like, "Hey, why are you supporting Donald Trump?" And they're just like, it's a meltdown. It was just I don't know where, you know what I mean? It was an older lady. Like, there's just, and listen, you can always find these little incidents, but I mean, you're just finding some really unhinged stuff. I just don't get it. And I don't want to like, oh, we're so great and they're so bad. I don't want to do that. But I mean, it's just, I feel like, and there's some commentators out there, and I'm not going to name the names yet. I might, but I mean, you're seeing some unhinging. It feels the tea leaves, the momentum. It feels like the left knows they're losing, and they're not taking it super well, in my opinion. Your comments, real quick. I'm going to tee up the Trump ad here, the new ad, and I think it's very powerful.
Yeah, I agree. They're not taking it well. I mean, people like Keith Olbermann or various people like that, they're definitely not taking it well. They're look at how they freaked out at the Washington Post when they didn't endorse somebody. I mean, what is that about? It's like they have the right to endorse or not to endorse. That's their decision. It's their publisher's decision. That's up to them. If you don't want to subscribe to the paper because it didn't endorse somebody, I mean, you can do that, but nobody else has to care about that. Look, we're running an election here. This isn't fun and games, but it's also not the end of the world. I mean, so let's kind of keep things in perspective here. And, we're going to have to all kind of be chill to each other after this ends. So let's, try to keep things in perspective.
I found it right here. This is Kimala. I don't know, from Joel Fisher right here. I'm going to have to cut this one, keep it real tight, because there's definitely some strong language here as well, players. Let's hear what this has to say right here. I don't know where this happened. I'm not quite sure, but check this person. And this is a homeowner at home. Ring doorbell. So they've got the camera. They got a Trump fan sign out there. I believe that's what I think is going on in context. So let's find out what's going on here. And I'm going to have to be real tight with this as much as I can. If I get it wrong, I do apologize.
We can't answer the door right now, but if you'd like to leave a message, you can do it now.
Shameful. Are you the one that walks by here and always screaming at people? No, I haven't walked by.
I said, no, that's not me. But I come to your door and I'm ringing them. You're shameful. Like, what is going on here? Hold on.
Okay, because a lot of people walk by and scream. Yeah, I'm not surprised. You are voting for the devil. Don't you know that?
What in the world?
No. Why are you voting for him? Because I believe he is the moral candidate. Oh my.
Okay, and then it just goes off the rails. It just goes off the rails from their players. I mean, it just goes off the rail. Like, this is what we're doing. We're seeing, photos, videos, things on X, Paul, of people ripping out Trump signs, different things. Like, I mean, and again, I'm sure you can find, I'm not trying to say, you can find bad behavior. You can pick, on both sides, I'm sure, and different things. But you're really just feeling, I just feel like you're just really seeing a lot of stuff right now with the left coming on hinge. I think maybe it's like, I don't know. I mean, listen, I'm not here to play psychologist or anything like that. But I mean, maybe part of it is that I think that maybe some of them are realizing some are all about power and they have this, maybe they're kind of fringe and they felt like they were in the mainstream for a while or stuff like that. I don't want to say it like that. I mean, we love everybody. I don't want that to be misunderstood. But like, but there's definitely certain things that are just like, are not like, people aren't going for it, especially when it starts stuff with kids and stuff like that. That's number one. But also I think that a lot of it may be like, I think it's hard for people to reconcile. That's why I respect people like Sean McGuire, Tucker Carlson, other people say, listen, I was wrong about this. I made a mistake before. That I think that it's hard to reconcile when you thought you were the smartest in the room and you thought you were smarter than those dumb Republicans or whatever like that, to that you've been bamboozled. You've been flummoxed. You've been propagandized, and that you were wrong this whole time. And that the people you tried to shame and cancel and stuff like that you were wrong. And you look at what someone went through, what Trump went through, being canceled off Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, the impeachments, all this type of stuff. And it's hard for them to square with that. But what I want to do right now is, and let me make sure I know where I'm going here. There's a new Trump ad that dropped, and I know you put it up. I put it up as well, Paul. I think it's very effective here. Let's play that right now and get your comments.
When I first came into office, I cut taxes more than any other president.
Just about the
created
AB
7
test
million new jobs.
between
and
Trump
it led to a
and
growth
Biden.
like we've never seen before. We developed the greatest economy in history by far. When I left office, it changed.
Dropping
Inflation
facts.
destroyed
Inflation
the
up,
lives
buddy.
of so many people.
Business
Interest rates
closed,
went from
COVID, interest rates
2%
up.
to 10%. Millions of illegal immigrants, traffickers, and drugs coming into our country. Our country has gone down.
And see, and we're gonna play the rest of it. The reason I think this thing is so effective, Paul, is it's just driving right into the issues that are top of mind for voters. These are the economy, inflation, immigration, just boom, boom, boom. And it's going into facts and going into A/B tests. Look, I was president before, things are great. Now on this administration, things are not great. Right track, wrong track. It's wrong track right now. They're trying to scare you about me. They're in office right now. Here we go.
The hell. So I made a decision to run. We're going to make America great again, greater than ever before.
It's the oil pumping.
I will fight for you with every breath,
In
and
rock,
I will
in
never
white at
let
UFC.
you down.
It's loving it. Look at that. I gotta hold on. I give the music stuff. Look at that.
President Trump is putting his life on the line, and he's willing to risk it all because he loves this country.
He is strong.
I mean, you can see that. It's got the music, stuff like that. It's just a powerful ad, Paul. Your take on that?
Yeah, it's a great ad. They have some really good closing ads. As I said earlier, here in Pennsylvania, I'm seeing all kinds of stuff. What I am seeing heavily here in Pennsylvania, I'm seeing a lot of stuff from Elon's America PAC. Also seeing a lot of stuff from the Trump campaign about voting early. Now, what happens, the way it goes here in Pennsylvania, requesting ballots and mail-in ballots ends this Tuesday. So it ends in 2 days from now. So they're trying to make a push on that. Now, of course, you can have your ballot and then you can still turn it in. But to request it, you have to do it by Tuesday. So they're making a big push to try to bank as many votes as they can. It's working. I've seen some terrific ads from them. That ad you just played is one of them. I think they have a very strong closing message here. And we've just got to push hard for this next week, basically.
We got to push hard for this next week, no doubt about it. Now, listen, I know you're following the early voting stuff very closely. What are we seeing out there on the early voting? It continues to shift. It continues to do something. I know Rich Bears is out there, the People's Pundit. He's checking some different things out. What are you seeing over there?
Look, it's the only place I'm not sure of from the 7 main battleground states is Michigan. I think the Democrats have done decently in Michigan. I don't know all the numbers, although we know that his polls have been good in Michigan. Trump's, that is. In every other state, the early voting is favoring Trump and the Republicans, and it's favoring them considerably. You're getting an overperformance in early voting that you just don't see. Republicans could win the early vote in North Carolina straight up. That never happens. They could win the early vote straight up in Nevada. I don't think that it really ever happens. Georgia, you're getting big turnout in the rural districts. Here in Pennsylvania, there's a significant improvement in performance for the Republican early voting via absentee as compared with 2020, as compared with 2022. We're seeing this everywhere. And we're seeing patterns about increased turnout rolls in multiple states. It's like, this is why President Trump and J.D. Vance are so excited right now. Now, of course, we have to keep it going, and they know that. But what it's looking like right now is that he is in a very good position to take all 4 Sun Belt states, Arizona, Nevada, Georgia, North Carolina. We'll know a little bit more tomorrow with Georgia. And he's looking strong right now in Wisconsin and Pennsylvania. I don't know as much about Michigan, even though I know the polls have shifted significantly towards him. But that's where we're at right now. Everything is looking promising. There's like no negative things that are coming across right now, even though people are searching for things. I'm not seeing it right now.
Sorry, the reason I'm laughing at Elon Musk is so savage. Elon Musk 30 minutes ago has a little meme here of Biden, inflation's not that high. And then has a picture of Hunter Biden underneath inflation. I mean, Elon Musk is fearless, bro. He's just out there doing stuff. I mean, it's unbelievable, dude. So, I mean, now some have said, and you may have touched on this, some have said that, hey, interesting. We may have to go to this. I don't even know what this is, but we may have to go to this. Kamala Harris at a barbershop earlier today, courtesy of C-SPAN. So it's public domain. Let's just go to this right here real quick. What I was going to say is some have said that that you're just shifting the vote. You're voting early, but that doesn't mean more Republicans are coming out. Maybe we get surprised on election day. I don't see that happening, Paul. Do you?
No, I don't. In fact, somebody who has done very extensive data analysis here in Pennsylvania is basically saying that the highest percentage of what I think are requests for absentee ballots. I don't know if it's request or returns. I think it's request. The highest percentage of Republican requested absentee ballots are coming from people that haven't voted in the last 4 elections, meaning none of the interim elections and not in 2020 either. That is the majority of the percentage, not the majority, the plurality of the percentage of Republican-oriented voters requesting ballots. What that means is you are not cannibalizing your vote. You are getting people that probably wouldn't show up on election day and they're voting, which means you have more votes in reserve for election day and the Democrats have less. Comparatively, 73% of people who are 4 out of 4 voters, they vote in every single election. 73% of those people that are Democrats here in Pennsylvania have requested a ballot. They're not going to show up on election day. They're out of the equation. Republicans have more in reserve. They're looking good here in Pennsylvania.
I got to find Maha Alliance also put out a really strong ad too. And we're going to wind it down here very, very quickly here. We've been going for a while.
Yeah, we can wind it up.
Here we go here. I don't know I have no idea what's going to happen here. Let's see this. Kamala Harris in a barbershop recently. Here we go.
How's everybody doing? Oh, well, good. Vice President, thank you so much for coming and being with us to have this conversation inside the barbershop.
Indeed, that's where all the truth gets spoken. That's where the news gets shared.
And like this, we kind of breaking the code. We got you in the barbershop. It's a little private, but
not my first time.
Okay, I'm just saying we got you in here today.
It just, I don't want to criticize it too much. I mean, but it just. there's just a different level of relatability, in my opinion, Paul. There's just it just doesn't feel the same vibe, dude. It just, you know what I'm saying? Like you see Trump at you know, going to 7-Elevens. You see Trump at McDonald's. You see Trump at the pizza shop. You see Trump with, you know, calling in when Byron Donalds, those guys at the barbershop. It's just a different deal, dude. It's just a different deal, dude. I mean, I just don't think, I don't know, dude. It's just a different deal. Your take real quick.
Yeah, look, the thing is what JD Vance has said before about Kamala. There seems to be a kind of, you know, she changes herself between different audiences. You're getting this thing, and now you're getting this, now you're getting that, now you're getting that. Trump's the same everywhere. You're pretty much getting the same thing every single time. And that's one of the things that people like about it. Look, I mean, she can do whatever she wants. The problem is that you have somebody who has had a very short runway for people to get to know her. And there's like 10 different versions of her, it seems like, or at least the way that she presents herself.
Well,
that's an issue.
It is an issue. Maha Alliance is out there, and this is, I believe, you know, Kennedy's thing with the "Make America Healthy Again" type of stuff. I'm not sure who's involved in this at all, but that was kind of his saying. I'm not alleging anything. I don't know. This is on Twitter. This has been going around. They've been doing some very effective ads and talking about, like, you know, voting for Kamala and stuff like that. It's a longer ad. I'm just going to play a couple little shorter clips here. Powerful ad, and it takes her own words and her own, you know, record. And shows it. And that goes to your point, Paul, of like, she's like, my values haven't changed. Well, which values, which Kamala do we believe in? We don't know. You say you wouldn't change anything from Biden, but you're a different candidate. It's going to be a different administration. You're not Biden. We don't know what's going on here, Paul. Here we go.
You were second in charge of California for 13 years.
As California's Attorney General, Harris promoted enforcement of a law that allowed prosecutors to seek jail time.
Well, I don't think that's right. She was second in charge. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think she was second in charge of California. I mean, the lieutenant governor would be second in charge of California, I think, right? I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but here we go. I don't think I'm wrong. It doesn't matter. I don't want to criticize here. Here we go.
For parents of truant kids.
As a prosecutor and law enforcement, I have a huge stick. So I decided I was going to start prosecuting parents for truancy.
Like, who does that? Like, who does that? Like, obviously you want kids to go to school and stuff like that, but who does that, dude? And the thing is I mean, well, I'll let this speak for itself.
I thought that was crazy. I was like, how can you?
Alameda County. So I used to live right near Alameda County. My brother lived in Alameda County, worked for Alameda County. So, I mean, I know I'm in the same area. So here we go. Most of the time I live in Contra Costa County, but that's right next door to Alameda County.
Lock parents up.
If you don't go to school, Kamala's going to put you and me in jail. Yes, we achieved intended effect.
You're laughing about that, dude? You're talking about like what?
I opened the door and I see at least 7 or 8 cops like wanted to arrest me. As a matter of fact, they did.
And frankly, you know the prosecutors in my office who volunteered to do this?
Wow.
My homicide prosecutors,
Crazy.
My gang prosecutors. And they went over there and I said, when you go over there, look.
Yeah, because that's what you want, Paul. And, you know, take the people from homicide and on the gang detail, instead of worrying about that type of stuff, go after parents. This is like when they're trying to talk about parents that are going to school board meetings that are concerned about stuff. Like, this is crazy stuff, Paul.
Really mean.
She had me arrested and prosecuted because my handicapped daughter was sick in the hospital and had missed some days of school.
I learned that with the swipe of my pen, I could charge someone with the lowest level offense. That person could be arrested. They could lose time from work and their family maybe lose their job. They'd have to come out of their own pocket to help hire a lawyer. They'd lose standing in their community.
I lost my job and couldn't pay rent, and we got evicted.
Weeks later, I could dismiss the charges, but their life would forever be changed.
I became homeless. We had to move into a motel.
All because of the swipe of my pen.
Dude, I'm telling you right there, I hear that. It just disgusts me, Paul. I mean, that is a super powerful ad. This Maha, I don't know who's making the ads for Maha Alliance, but they are incredible. Like, I mean, like, what do you say? You're talking about Kamala Harris and people not knowing and defining that ad. I think right there is breaking through and making noise. I know it's been shared a lot on X. 2.2 million impressions, player. That's just on one thing. What's your take on that ad?
Yeah, look, I don't know who's doing the Maha Alliance ads. I do know that Nicole Shanahan,
she's
earlier in the cycle, was making unbelievable ads. So maybe it's some of her people working on that.
Okay, it says right here.
They made incredible.
Sorry, I just saw it right here. It's just incredible. I'm seeing it right here. Led by the former Team Kennedy content team, we are uniting undecided voters to join President Trump and making America healthy again. So, I mean, like you said, Nicole Shanahan, Kennedy, their content team it's just incredible. I mean, some of the best ads I've ever seen. Just powerful.
They've made incredible ads. And look, like you said, I mean, I mean, that just does not come off well for her. No. There's no question about that. I mean, who watches that and thinks that that's a good thing? No. I mean, it just seems so over the top. So, that's just not. I'm glad they're pointing it out, but for Kamala Harris, that's not something you want, coming out this late in the game.
Brutal. All right, we're gonna wind it down here. Want to thank everyone there. We're up to like 347 interactions on X. That's maybe a record for us. We're doing things out there. We've had a great audience here on Rumble, on YouTube. We appreciate everyone out there. Facebook. I'll repost on LinkedIn. I mean, big rally for Trump. We're 10 days out, players. I mean, it's getting close right here. I would say, Paul, the way you feel right now, how good are you feeling for Team Trump? I mean, where do you think the momentum is? Where do you think, how are you feeling about this 10 days out?
Trump clearly has all the momentum. I mean, look, the rally tonight was unbelievable. I know some media outlets are trying to flip it and turn it and everything. No, this was an incredible event, and it has energized his supporters. Look, there's still time to go here. There's still things can turn, but right now, everything's going Trump's way.
I like it. All right, there we go, players. Hey, hope you have a great time. Hope you enjoyed this. We try to bring you some information, try to react in real time. This was an on-the-fly situation because of the breaking news situation with the rally, and it looked like a very, very important rally. 10 days. What's going to change? Who knows? I don't know. Is there an October surprise? I mean, we're almost out of October. I mean, I think this is it, dude. I think the cake is almost baked. So we'll see. But I do expect it's going to be a news-filled week, and we're going to be here with you. We're going to do some shows. I'm not going to say how many shows we're going to do, but we're definitely going to be doing some shows, and we definitely appreciate you being out there. Have a wonderful Sunday out there. Looking forward to the week out here. Almost Halloween. So here we go. The news of the day was a huge rally for Donald Trump. And the early voting in the polls are looking like Trump's got the momentum. We're going to see how it plays out from here. For Paul, I'm John D. Valero. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.